I've seen people charge $100 a month, 200, 500, 1,000, up to $2,500 a month for SEO. So why exactly does SEO cost money, and why do you have to keep paying for it month after month? What's up there, guys? Izzy here once again with Get Busy LLC, where I help home service business owners and contractors understand the internet, website design, doing their own SEO to hopefully save them thousands of dollars from having to hire somebody else to do it. So, in this video, I want to talk about SEO. Why exactly does it cost money? Where does all that money go? Look, let's be honest. There is a lot of confusion when it comes to SEO and paying for the service on a monthly basis. So the best way for me to describe this is to describe it as if I was a fence contractor and you needed your fence repaired. Let's say there was a big storm. I go to your house. I'm a fence contractor and I quote you to fix a fence $5,000. You have no idea where all that money is going to do. What's that money going to go to? And then I explain and itemize all the items that I'm going to need to fix your fence. So I'm going to need the concrete bags to dig out the posts and put in new posts. I'm going to need the actual posts. I'm going to need the actual fence panels. I'm going to need the screws. I'm going to need the nails, the hardware, all of that stuff. And then I'm going to need the actual labor and all of the time needed to actually install your fence. So once I itemize all this stuff, then all of a sudden okay, $5,000 doesn't seem so much to fix this fence. It seems reasonable. If I'm a fence contractor, I don't just take the $5,000 and put it in my pocket and there's a fence out there, brand new. So even if you go out there and decide to get a quote from several different fencing contractors, at the end of the day, those contractors are still going to need the same supplies. They're still going to need the concrete, the posts, the fence panels, the hardwares, and the labor. So the price differentiations will be a little bit different depending on the contractor, their experience, how you feel about them, and all that sort of stuff. The problem that I see with the SEO services and the digital agency stuff out there these days is that there are so many digital agencies and a lot of pretenders, a lot of newbies and things like that out there offering the services, and some of them don't even know what they're doing. So it blows me away that some people charge $100, 200, 300. What exactly are you doing for that much money? It'd be like me building that fence and only charging you $1,000. How am I going to pay for the materials? How exactly I'm going to build that fence and create that fence? So the same thing happens in this SEO industry. See, the problem is that there is so many courses out there that teach people how to become an SEO agency, how to become a web design agency, how to do this, how to do that. They pay 99 bucks, $1,000 to get this training, and all of a sudden they go out there and start pitching all types of different contractors and dentists and service-based businesses and things like that on that they can do offer SEO when they really don't know what they're doing. It'd be, again, back to the contractor. Am I going to hire some contractor that just bought a course online on how to be a fence contractor and he paid $99 for it? Am I going to hire that guy? Hell no, I'm not going to hire that guy. I want a damn professional to build a damn good, sturdy fence. So this is where I see the price differentiations for a lot of SEO agencies. Like I said, there's a bunch of people that just don't know what the hell they're doing, and they're basically experimenting on business owners, and that's not cool. It'd be like somebody experimenting on my house to build a fence. We don't want to do that. So when you hire a good SEO agency, there are actual hard costs that they need to pay for in order to do a good job for your website and your business online. So it's basically two things that you're going to have to take care of. This is what they spend their money and their time on when you do hire somebody who's good and know what the hell they're doing. Number one, they work on all your on-page stuff of your website. I'll explain here in a second what all that stuff is. And the second part of it is all of the off-page stuff of your website. So the very first thing when you hire out a good SEO agency, the very first thing they're going to do is all of your on-page stuff for your website. They're going to go in there, they're going to go fix all your meta descriptions, all your title tags, all of your H1 title tags, all of your H2 title tags, all of the content on your website, optimize your pictures. They're going to go in there. There's going to be a lot of tedious grunt work that needs to get done. And if you look online, some of the, if you hire somebody out per hour, it can range anywhere from like $75 to $150 per hour to have somebody go in, get into your website and start fixing everything that you need to fix in order to get that thing to start to rank on the search results, make sure everything's good on it. And it, like I said, it's a lot of tedious, boring work that needs to be done. A lot of creating the interlinking, creating the right structure of the website. It's just a lot of work. And a lot of times you're better off just building a new website. Your own website's so busted, it's so garbage, it's so not even that good. It's kind of like a fence. You're better off just tearing down that fence and starting a new one, instead of fixing the one that you have. In some cases, that might be the case where you just need to build a brand new website. So that's part of your money. So let's say you're spending, I don't know, 10 to 15 hours on, fixing all the on-page stuff. You can see how quickly some of that money goes into paying somebody to physically go in there and do all of this work and fix up your websites. It could range from, 750 to 1500 bucks just for that. If you're paying somebody who knows what the hell they're doing to do all your on-page stuff of your website. Another thing you have to take into account is if they have to go in there and optimize the Google business profile. Again, that's going to take some time, per hour to go in there and fix everything up, make sure you're in the right categories, all the stuff you need to do to optimize it. I'll make a video about this at a later date, but you got to go in there and get all that done. That could take a few more hours to get that kind of sort of thing all sorted out. So that's just another needed expenditure when it comes to doing SEO. This is why some agency will usually sometimes will charge a little bit more for that first month, because they know most of the work is on the front end of everything to get things going. Now, I'm going to let you guys in on a little secret here when it comes to the local contractor and home service business owner SEO. There's a lot of instances, there's a lot of cases where all you need is the on-page stuff. That's all you need, especially in smaller markets where there's not much competition. I've had plenty of examples where I've built just really well optimized websites, done all the on-page SEO correctly, and those suckers are right there ranking at the top of Google with nothing else. As long as you go out there and go get some reviews, keep uploading pictures on your Google listing and stuff like that, that's all you need. But in more competitive markets, of course, there's things that you're going to need. And this is exactly what I'm going to explain to you guys when it comes to the SEO hard costs. Now, this is just through my perspective, the way that I do things. There's a lot of agencies that do things in a different way. Again, like the fencing contractor, like I said, at the end of the day, you still need the same materials, the same stuff. And there's a lot of contractors that have places where they get their supplies from different places, different prices, their labor costs are different, things like that. Sometimes they do things in a different way. Same thing with SEO. I'm going to share with you guys my method, and I'm always investigating and trying to learn better and more efficient ways to do this SEO stuff. So things could change from the time of me recording this video, but I'm going to share with you guys exactly the process that I use so you get an idea of why this costs money and why you need to keep paying for it monthly if you do end up using this types of services. So here's what goes in that first month of doing SEO for somebody, the way that I do if somebody wants me to help them do it. First of all, I guess, again, it's the on-page stuff. You got to make sure that's completely dialed in. It's the foundation of everything, just like a house. You want a good foundation before you build a rock solid house. You got to have that rock solid foundation to get things going. Without that, you're pretty much screwed. So again, we already went over how much that could end up costing, how much time that could take. So the next thing that I usually do is do the press release. A press release is something where you just make a splash online, get the ball rolling. You create an article, get it posted on these online news agencies and things like that, just to make a splash and start creating some links pointing back to your website. And this usually costs anywhere from 100 to 200 bucks to have a service go do this for you. I'll make references to this in other videos, but it's a super simple thing you can do. Probably takes 2 to 3 weeks to get it done. And once it's done, you just let it go. And then right after that, I do something called social signals, where we kind of mimic a buzz of things going on with this website and this business online. And again, you just pay for the services, places where you can outsource this stuff, and it can range around to about 100 bucks, something to that extent. But you can see how that first month the prices are already adding up, all the costs are adding up. Next thing I do is usually citations, business listing citations. Do 200 of them on a place called Authority Builders. This is where I like to get them done. And those usually cost 200 bucks. At the time of this recording, last I checked, it was about 200 bucks to get all those done. So you see how quickly that money goes right there. Say you pay 200 bucks for the press release, 100 bucks for the social signals, and 200 bucks for citations. That's $500 out the window. And then all the on-page stuff of paying somebody by the hour to go on there and fix it. So that first month, profit margins are really, really, really thin the way that I do it. But my main thing is to keep them going so I could get them going on a monthly basis. So let me go on the ongoing costs of doing SEO for a business. Let me show you it. Okay, now let's try to imagine that you are going to start a brand new YouTube channel. I always use this as an example. Let's say you're a stay-at-home dad that has a couple of little ones and you want to learn how to cook for them in a healthy way. So you create a channel that it's all about stay-at-home dads that cook healthy for their kids. Now, when you create that channel and you go out there and start making videos, let's say you made 10 videos to get things going and you left it at that. Is your channel going to grow? Probably. It's going to get some views. It's going to get some thumbs up. It's going to get some subscribers, things like that. But if you leave it at that, that's it. There's no momentum. There's no more things going on. So what you have to do is create more content. You have to create more videos. You have to start talking about different subjects, grocery lists, things like that. And you start creating a channel that starts growing a video, let's say a video a week, a video a week, a video a week. Before you know it, you have, 60, 70 videos with tons of subscribers, tons of thumbs up and things like that. So in essence, this is what you're doing with a website and your Google listing online. You're basically doing the exact same thing. So the way I see it, Google owns YouTube. That's the way it works. This is how SEO must work. And from what I've done, this is exactly what happens. So you start creating content, more and more content for your website, talking about more services, adding more service page, adding service area pages, talking about the area, creating a blog on it. And let's say you commit to writing 4 pieces of content for your website on a monthly basis. Now you can go out there and do this yourself, write all the content, do some keyword search for little things that you want to write about in your particular area. Or you can say you could just hire somebody to write for you. And you don't want to hire these weirdos and just people that are charging $5 for an article. Honestly, I've tried it in the past, and there's some shitty ass articles. You get what you pay for. So you end up having to end up paying for better writers. And on Fiverr and places like that, there's places where there's some really damn good writers that can do some really good work, but their prices are obviously going to be higher. You just give them instructions of what you want them to write. They'll send you the content. Then it's up to you to upload it on your website. Make sure it's properly titled. Make sure you put in the proper meta title, the meta description, all that stuff's that interlink to the other pages. Those things that you have to do. And let's say you're paying, let's say 75 to $100 an article. Then there you go. Now you're up to $300-400 per month just on content writing, and that's not adding it into your website. The next thing you have to do is start to create backlinks. Now, backlinks, again, there's places where you can just pay a Fiverr or these crummy places. You can get a backlink for $25 and stuff, but I'm not trusting any of that crap. The way that I see backlinks, to me, backlinks have to come from a website that's live, that's got some activity on it, that's got people reading it, so that when you create a link that points back to your website, there's actual life to it. And I believe that's what Google's looking for, is actual life and activity, just like a YouTube video. If a YouTube video is shitty, nobody's going to watch it. It's not going to start showing up on the homepage of people. But if you make a decent video and there's a lot of view time on it, it's going to help grow your channel and things like that, because it measures activity somehow, some way. I'm not even going to try to figure out how they do it. Google knows how to measure human activity. So you have to go out there and start writing more content, but for other people's websites. And you create a backlink that points back to your website. I go into this in other videos where I talk about this a little bit more, but that's what you have to do. And nobody really goes out there and does this anymore. There's a bunch of services you can hire to do all of this for you. They write the article for you. They post it they search for a place where they can write the article. They write the article for you. They create the backlink pointing back to your article. And these services are not cheap, especially if you get really good ones. And like I said, these range from anywhere from $100 for a backlink up to $500, $600, $700, $800 for a backlink, depending on where you get these backlinks pointing to your website. So let's say you're doing 2 backlinks for even $200 a piece per month. Now that's another $400 you're tacking onto your monthly cost. So the writing the content, creating the backlinks and content for other websites, now you're up to like $800. Plus you're going in there writing Google business posts, you're upkeeping with all that stuff right there. And you can see where some of this money goes into paying for all of these things. And at the end of the day, the agency will pocket some of that money, whatever it is they're charging on a monthly basis, as their profit for doing. Just like the fencing contractor, right? He's got to pay, like I said, the materials, his worker, the time. And at the end of the day, out of the $5,000, he maybe pockets, $5,000 to $1,000, for his business and his license and getting all this stuff done. Same thing with these agencies. So that's why I wanted to share with you guys in this video exactly why SEO costs money, especially if you hire a good one and they know what they're doing. I said their process might be different than mine, but at the end of the day, it's content and backlinks pointing to your website and keeping that thing fresh and keeping things going. So that's it. This is why I want to explain to you guys why SEO costs money, especially if you're hiring somebody that's good. And be very, very suspicious if somebody's just offering it for $100, $200, $300, $500 a month. Be very suspicious. Like I said, it'd be like hiring a fence contractor to build my fence, and he's only charging me $1,000 to $1,500. I'd have my eyebrows, perking up, because I'm like, what the hell's going on here, right? So that's all I wanted to share with you guys. If you guys want to know more about some of the services that I provide to help out, also my website design, my free courses, my templates and things like that, go to the description here below. I have links for all of that stuff right here. And like I said, at the end of the day, SEO all comes down to adding content and creating backlinks, upkeeping with your website. As a matter of fact, I just made a video talking about the importance of what I see with pictures and some of the things I see people not doing with their pictures, how to create some good pictures for your website. I created a video for that just right here. You can check that out. And that's all I wanted to share with you guys today. Until next time.